This is John Dowler of Prayer Builders in Winona, Minnesota, and we have another word for the day. We're going through 1 Thessalonians, and let's go ahead. This is from verse 6 down to verse 10. This is Paul sharing in his epistle, sharing in his letter to the Thessalonican church. He had sent Timothy there to see how things were going, find out the status of their faith and their spiritual walk. And Timothy came back with this report. So let's start reading in verse 6, and then we'll get down to verse 7. But now when Timothy came from you to us and brought us good tidings of your faith and charity, and that you always have good remembrance of us, desiring greatly to see us, as we also to see you. Therefore, brethren, verse 7, we were what? We were comforted. Look at this. We were comforted over you in all of our afflictions and distress by your faith. This thing, Paul keeps saying this over and over. I'm telling you, your faith matters. Your faith matters. Your faith is your persuasion. Your faith is your persuasion and your ability to believe. You have a state of mind that you are believing that no matter what is going on, you believe and are persuaded that God can change things. God can save lives. You may think, man, this climate, there's so many things. There's such a silencing culture trying to silence certain things. I am telling you, we have got to be persuaded. Do you think this stuff, do you think that anything that's going on in this earth, that is too big for God? Back in 1 John in chapter 5, verse 4, it says greater is, in 1 John 5, it says greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. All these spirits that are working right now in the world through people against the things of God. The greater one is living on the inside of us, and he is taking care of us, and he is great enough to overcome in all these areas. And it says, let's look here. But he said, therefore, brethren, we were comforted over you in all of our afflictions and distress. And then we're still going through afflictions and distress. And no matter what, Paul went through major afflictions and distress. Him getting this word, I had shared this yesterday, but it is so impactful. And right now, we are needing bodies and groups of believers, churches. We're needing them all over this land to come together in the same spirit of faith. We're needing bodies of believers to be persuaded that God is able. We need bodies of believers persuaded that God's going to move. Actually, Jesus actually said, wherever 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst. Right now, we are needing bodies of believers. We are needing gatherings of believers in every city, literally believing Jesus is going to show up. He says, if 2 or 3 gather together in my name, and those people are persuaded, guess what? I am in the midst of them. God will come into your midst, and God will change lives. And God will draw people into your gatherings. God will cause all this to happen. We have got to be persuaded. The same God that was with Paul, the same God that was with Paul and Barnabas and Silas and Timothy and Peter, that same God is with us. He is working for us. He is working with us. And the spirit of revival is moving in this land. And all of this is going to go right to the culmination that Jesus is going to come back. But before that happens, God is trying to pull in every last bit of harvest, and he is going to do it throughout this nation and throughout this earth. And I know right now this is being seen throughout the earth. and I just welcome you. I just want to say this. I know I have been receiving so many comments from you throughout the earth, over in Africa, over in India, over in Pakistan. You've been messaging me. I've been getting so many messages I can't keep up with them. But there's so many of you, and I am praying for you. Father God, I just pray for this. I pray for all these new people, all the new people hooking up with us right now, wherever you at in the earth. We are praying for you. And I'm praying, right now, some of these responses are almost overwhelming, and I'm seeking God as to how we can have some connections with each other live, where we do some lives. But I just want to encourage you. So anyway, that was just kind of a side note. But I want to encourage you that no matter what is taking place, we do not need to be weighed down by all this that's going on in the earth. We need to have love, joy, and peace. And we need to, as we're going every day, anytime there's anything wanting to weigh on you, just remind yourself of this: Jesus is coming back.